Well, you know I am a huge football fan, but you also know I am from Indiana, so basketball is in the blood.
Yep.
And this time of year I get very excited for basketball season starting, and perfect segue for Mike Donnelly, the head basketball coach at Florida Southern College, is joining us now on Sports Central. And Coach, welcome back.
Oh, great to be here. Appreciate you having me.
I can't believe this is year 10.
Year 10, yeah, hard to believe.
It is hard to believe, and I know that if I remember correctly, you came in and obviously there was a little rebuild there, and then of course you were there to deal with the whole COVID situation, and now we've been back to normalcy for a while now. In the last 7 years, 140 and 59 or something like that on the record.
Sounds about right.
Last year, 23 and 10, pretty good year. What are we looking for this year?
To try to keep getting better. Since COVID hit, we kind of had to hit the reset button, and we went from playing only a handful of games. We won 7. We went 7-5 in that COVID shortened year, then 16, 19, 23. So hopefully we keep trending in the right direction and try to be at 25 wins or above. That's the goal for this year. But can't do that without great players, and we have a lot of experience returning, a lot of high-level caliber all-conference type of players returning, so I think we're set up to hopefully have a really good season.
Without giving away all the secrets, can you speak to your team's playing style and how it differentiates you from the rest?
Yeah, we're very up-tempo. We're very fast. We always are one of the top scoring offenses in the country year in and year out. So I think it's a fun way to play. It's a fun way to coach, but it's an easy way to recruit, because players want to be in an up and down system where they can kind of showcase their ability. So we definitely recruit players who can excel in that style of play. And that's the key, right? You want guys who can perform at the highest level in that style of play, which we've been fortunate. We've had a handful of really high level players, all-American type of players over the course of the last 7 years. And I think that style of play really helps us perform at the highest level.
Sure.
What's been more difficult to navigate? The COVID, not COVID itself, but the extension of years for players, because that impacted the high school kids coming into the program, because 6th and 7th year of eligibility, or NIL. Which one has been more? Sorry, I don't mean to put you on the spot.
And Hurricane Milton.
And by the way, hurricanes.
Right. No, there's been the landscape of college athletics has completely changed over the last 3 or 4 years, and it's still ongoing. We still are seeing a lot of we're going to see a lot more changes. So you just kind of have to roll up your sleeves and adjust and adapt as best you can. I think what has happened over the last 3 or 4 years, as a lot of it has benefited the college athlete, which is great.
Sure.
And I think from the administrative standpoint, coach standpoint, we just, like I said earlier, you just have to kind of adapt. And what you did 5, 10, 15 years ago is not necessarily the case now. So that's a challenge, but it's like anything in life. Everything adapts and progresses, and we have to make sure that we are doing the best we can to kind of stay with the current times. But it definitely is a challenge, because you can get caught up in, well, this is how we've always recruited, or this is how we've always coached. And it's just not the same anymore. So it's certainly a challenge, but it makes things super interesting as well.
And it's true in business too, not just athletics. If you're still doing it the way you've always done it, then you're already behind.
100%.
And I think that segues nicely into one of the reasons we have you here is, the small college basketball tip-off classic being at Florida Southern. We were approached, myself and Drew Howard, of course, the athletic director there at Florida Southern, with this opportunity. And the way we really envisioned this is you could go to a larger facility for an event like this, because it's, if I remember correctly, it's 10 teams.
Right.
They're participating in the event November 2nd and 3rd. But really the focus has been on the history of Florida Southern basketball. Obviously, what's the number one rule in business? Location, location, location. So these teams are glad to come to Central Florida in November. But also to give it that, I almost termed it as like Maui East, because you have the Maui Tip-Off Classic out there in Maui with all those Division I teams, and we're trying to build that atmosphere here at Florida Southern. But for the college, it has to be a huge advantage when it comes to showcasing the program and not only the college but the basketball program, right?
Yeah, of course. From a basketball standpoint, it was a no-brainer, right? Because it's a prestigious national event. You're playing the highest caliber of teams, so it's certainly an advantage basketball-wise. But more importantly, from the school standpoint and the entire athletic department standpoint, we get to highlight and showcase what Florida Southern's all about, and also Lakeland. I mean, the feedback that we get from all these schools traveling down here, the coaches, it's a first-class event, and they are just blown away by the campus of Florida Southern, the facilities that we have at Florida Southern, but also how beautiful Lakeland is. And I always hear, I didn't know Lakeland was here. You know, like we hear of Tampa, Orlando, but we didn't know Lakeland was so vibrant and so beautiful. So it's just an awesome opportunity, like I said, to kind of showcase what we're all about as a college and as a community. And it's a first-class event, and this is the third year now we've hosted at Florida Southern, and we're 4-0 in the tournament over the last 2 years. Hopefully that will continue next weekend to get some 2 big wins. But again, from the big picture standpoint, it's just a great opportunity for Florida Southern to to be showcased in that type of light, which we come off very well, and so does Lakeland, like I said, and Polk County for that matter.
Yeah. Coach, can you speak to the balancing act between preparing for this event? Obviously, you said you guys have won the last few years. You've had it for 3. How you prepare for this tournament, but make sure that you're preparing for the season as a whole and not spending it all on one egg.
Yeah, that's a great question, because when we start in the preseason, everything's about the small college basketball tournament. We start a week earlier than everyone else in the country. So Division II starts a week later, but this is an exempt tournament. So we have to speed things up, fast forward our preparation, but we always tell the guys, like, we have 28 more games after this tournament.
Sure.
So it's a fine line, because we have to speed things up to try to get ourselves ready to try to win 2 big games. But big picture, we have to make sure we're doing everything right to prepare for the season, because ultimately our goal is to win our conference tournament and then play in the NCAA tournament and advance as far as possible in the NCAA tournament. Even though we want to do really well next weekend, we have bigger goals down the road.
Is there anybody in the tournament that you got your eye on that you're preparing the team for, that going to be your biggest rival? Yeah,
the 2 teams that we play, we host Minnesota State in our first game, the defending national champs, so that's going to be a huge test for us. And then the second night, we play Point Loma, they're traveling 3,000 miles to be here. They're from San Diego, and they'll be a top 5, top 10 team in the country in the preseason. They have their whole squad back from last year, so we'll be tested early and challenged early, and hopefully we'll be ready for that task.
I would even venture to say, I mean, not just the numbers, but the quality of teams in this tournament are better than the Final 4 or the Final 8 are going to be, because a lot of times who you see here in the beginning is who you see at the end. So it's a great opportunity if you love basketball or you just love sports to get over to Florida Southern November 2nd and 3rd. It's very inexpensive. I don't know what the prices are, but it's not anything insane. But like you said, you guys start off with the defending national champ. You can't get much better of a measuring stick right out of the gate.
Yeah, and it's a great opportunity to try to play against the best. And the benefit of being a host school, John McCarthy, who runs the event, does a fantastic job. He does talk to us about matchups, because we are the host event, and we always try to play the best teams that we think will present the toughest challenge. And it's great for our fans. It's great for the community to come out and see great basketball played at a very, very high level.
I think Josh and Coach said it too. It was a very good question, because there is a lot of focus on the event, and there's the basketball side, but Drew Howard and the entire athletic department. Small college basketball is coming, and they do a lot of the work, but there is an enormous amount of work that falls on Florida Southern and the athletic department and different areas of the operation. So, as we've said on the show many times, these events don't just show up, and when they occur, they don't just happen. They don't run themselves. There's people behind the curtain, if you will,
absolutely,
making sure that happens. So talk a little bit about that and what the student athletes at Florida Southern mean when it comes to facilitating events like this, because certainly basketball can't run this. Because you got 2 games to play.
Right, and as soon as the event ends next weekend, probably a few weeks will pass, and then they'll start discussions about the following year. So it's kind of a year-round job to try to prepare properly, because it is such a big event, and we have to put our best foot forward. So Drew and Al Green and Jill Stevens, our athletic administration, they do a great job preparing with John to, like I said, make this a first-class event. And we always hear great comments and great feedback saying it's a seamless event, seamless operation. If they only knew what, like you said, Neal, like what goes behind the scenes. So credit to Drew and our staff for doing a fantastic job.
If we can, real quick, we've only got a few minutes left here. Talk about the pool of talent in Polk County, or really in this region, because you know, Coach McGriff at Bartow High School has always said, if you can get out of Polk County, you can get to the Final Four at the RP Funding Center. And it feels like the same is true for Florida Southern. If you can get out of Florida, because the conference is always really good, then you can make a run to a national championship. Talk about that real quick.
Yeah, no, Polk County basketball is tremendous. And we host the Summer League, Polk County Summer League, on Monday nights. We've done that for the last few years, every Monday in June, which is a great event. We have all the schools from Polk County come and participate in our gym, so we see firsthand the caliber of play and the caliber of programs and coaches that are here in Polk County. It's a great recruiting event for us as well. And then our conference, we think the Sunshine State is regarded, we know it's regarded as one of the best conferences in the country. And for us to get to the Elite Eight, which is the equivalent of, for Division II, the equivalent of the Final Four, Division I Final Four, we have to get through the South region. And usually it's a Florida school. And for the last 3 or 4 years, it's been Nova Southeastern. They've been in the national championship back-to-back years. So Division II is a little structured a little differently, because you have to get out of your region to get to that next level. But you know, our region is always stacked, and that's for all sports. I know golf, soccer, volleyball, I mean baseball. It's a loaded conference, loaded region, not just in basketball, but all sports.
Well, very good, Coach. We very much appreciate it. We wish you good luck. Again, the Small College Basketball Tip-Off Classic will be Saturday, Sunday, right?
Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah. So November 2nd and 3rd. I got a little ahead of myself there, but November 2nd and 3rd. Athletic website they can go to for more information?
All the information, go to fscmox.com. All the information is available on our website, and hope everyone could come out and enjoy, like I said, a great event, a fun event, a family event, and watching high caliber Division II basketball.
Well, next time we have you on, we'll have a big, tall NCAA trophy.
Let's
right?
go. Let's
All
go.
right,
Absolutely. I love it.